What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and we are here live for another rebuild on the rebuild channel guy. I don't know. I'm completely out of it. The likes button helps. 2,000 likes. So basically, I had my kid. Today's Saturday. You guys are watching this live on a Saturday. I had my first real weekend of the last month. I was like, all right, I gotta watch my kid on Saturday. So I stayed up Friday night. It was like 3, 4 in the morning recording this. And what I didn't notice was there's a stream. I was listening to Joe Rogan. I forgot to mute it, so this whole all my audio got ruined. And there's a Joe Rogan playing in the background. So yeah, we're here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is that spiel. We had to sim here to week 4 because I wanted to get the trade with Minkah Fitzpatrick in. But you can see right now the most polarizing player maybe in the league is Mason Rudolph after the whole situation with Myles Garrett getting conked on the head. I'm looking here at Pittsburgh. I don't think he's really going to be the QB of our future. Got Ben Roethlisberger here for the time being, but Rudolph does has a dev trait. You know, maybe we look at it, maybe using him as trade bait. Maybe we look at trading Ben Roethlisberger. I don't know. I honestly don't know. The thing that is annoying, though, is because of the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade, we don't have a first-round pick this year, so it's going to be pretty hard to reload this team. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm literally going over the audio, or the video that I recorded last night. We have James Conner here at running back, 82 star. He's going to be a key piece to this rebuild, I think. He's a monster, man. Power back, Juju Smith-Schuster. We got Roosevelt Nix here. It's kind of expensive for a fullback. Maybe we can get him off the books. So Juju Smith-Schuster has an X factor. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think if he was as hip, he's always in the video game stuff like that, he would get an X factor. I think that's more publicity than what he's actually earned. He's probably more so in superstar territory. He's a really fine wide receiver, but I don't necessarily know if I can give him an X factor just yet. But he's gonna be a big part of the team. We got James Washington, 76 star dev. Looks nice, man. Deontay Johnson, kind of a weird selection. I didn't really like it at Toledo, but there's a chance with that speed and catching, he could be our slot wide receiver and grow into a pretty good role here. They got Switzer, Hollywood Holton. Shout out to that one video we made of Mutt last year where he was like our best wide receiver. A lot of speed. Moving on, wide receiver looks good. Tight end. Definitely need to think about drafting a tight end. We have Vance McDonald, who, statistically, he's not terrible for what he is. He's also not that good. Let's get Grimble's contract out of the books. That frees up like $2 million a cap. But we definitely need to look at bringing in a tight end sooner than later. But for now, it's just fine. It's just fine. It's nothing too shabby. Let's go C4. Move off the tight ends. But what could I possibly be talking about right now? Sure. Vance McDonald looks funny. Vance Refrigeration, The Office. Pretty expensive contract. Sure. Offensive line. We have Villanueva. This guy was a tight end on the Philadelphia Eagles during the Chip Kelly. But anyway, he's got to become a pretty nice tackle. But he is 30, so for a 5-year rebuild, that's not great. Hopefully, he holds on to his rating, and we can kind of ride him into the ground until we can properly draft a tight end tackle. Ramon Foster's 33 and 81, so that's not great. Pouncey is 30, 86. That whole Mason Rudolph thing. Pouncey stepping up for his QB. I thought it was pretty bad that he got suspended, to be honest with you. You don't mess with a Pouncey. Even back in Florida, you do not mess. He rolled with Aaron Hernandez, all those dudes. You do not mess with Pouncey. I was saying Myles Garrett's gonna get found in a trunk somewhere or under a bridge dead because you mess with the Pounceys, bad things happen. But in terms of center, he's one of the best centers in the National Football League. He is 30. The age is kind of good, bad, not good. Same with DeCastro, who's 29, one of the best guards, probably top 5 guard in the league, if not top 3. Right tackle's kind of shabby, but overall the ages, Pouncey's 30, you got 33 for Foster, 30 for Villanueva, 29 for DeCastro. This is an old offensive line that we're going to have to look at trying to rebuild piece by piece. I only have 2 realistic draft classes right now. There's a bunch of bugs and glitches. I recently, this weekend, actually tried to fix them. We only got 2 draft classes, so that still gives us 2 really strong drafts of random generated Madden players, which we know we can absolutely fleece and finesse on bringing in linemen. So as long as these linemen can hold together for 2 years, then we can pretty much, with the random generated prospects, really focus on bringing in some tackles and some guards and some centers. But overall, man, this is a strong offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, really outside of that tackle spot, we're gonna be looking pretty good and sitting pretty. Ramon Foster, 33. There's a chance he retires, which would definitely fill a hole. The only worry is that there's just gonna be too many spots to fill in one offseason. But flipping to the defense, Stephon Tuitt. Really, really nice here. 87 with a star dev. He's 26. He should be the key to this front 3. The youngest one, Cam Hayward. Pretty good, but he's also 30. not a great age. JAVON Hargrave's 26, 81 with a star. He's pretty good too. I think him and Tuitt are going to be here for the full 5 years. Or at least we can hope that they're going to be here for the full 5 years. TJ Watt is a monster. 24, 86 overall with a superstar dev trait. Really, really good pick. You got Shazier and Devin, but I'm telling you right now, usually in these rebuilds, like the last 2 years, I've just made Shazier a punter and I cut him. You know, whatever, man. Let's just play with them. You know, I'm not using real draft classes for all of them. It's not a realistic rebuild, so why not? Let's just live vicariously through what the Steelers have on this roster and have Shazier and Devin Bush as their middle linebackers. Let's rock and roll. I think what Devin Bush has a superstar dev, unless they've actually changed it, which I don't think they did. So that's a lot of talent, a lot of speed in the inside here for Pittsburgh. You got Bud Dupree, right outside linebacker. He's actually kind of like salvaged his career. It was a little bit of a bust, but still for us, $9 million cap hit, not good enough. Secondary, Joe Hayden's an 83. He's 30, though. Gator made, but it's Mike Hilton show. Everyone else outside of Mike Hilton probably doesn't have that much of a future here. Justin Lane, 69, just a normal dev. Burns doesn't have a dev trade either. So, yeah, it's pretty much going to be the Mike Hilton show at nickel. We got Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's an 85 overall. I don't know how many, what does he have, 6 turnovers now since he got traded week 3 to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a first-round pick. Every bit worth the first-round pick. I thought that was a great trade even before he started playing out of his mind, and he's going to be an anchor for this defense for the entirety of this rebuild. Plus, safeties go up in dev traits, so same with Terrell Edmunds. I like having 2 young safeties. Ooh, only a normal. I feel fairly confident we will be able to grow his dev trait and develop him nicely into a big-time playmaker. Those are our punters. We have no first-round pick. We do have, oh my God, we don't even have a third-round pick. So a 2 and a 4 and a 4, and we have a bunch of needs. We can arguably look at quarterback, tight end, anywhere on the offensive line, outside linebacker, corner. We have too many needs and not enough really assets to really do anything about it. So we started 0-3 here, much like the Steelers in real life. See what we can do to try and salvage this season. See, this is where I'm going to tell you right now, this is where it's going to get a little bit weird. Some of these transitions are going to feel awkward because I don't know when we do it. There we go. We moved. Okay, week 9, coming off a week 8 victory over the Dolphins, 24-10. Oh, we are bad though. 1-6 is not good. 1-6 is not a good spot to be. Yeah, man, that's just we're just helping out the Dolphins with a good pick. So contracts, we got Shazier, 4-year deal, keep him until he's 30. That's pretty easy to make. Mike Hilton has the most upside in our secondary, 4-year deal. Get him locked down. We got JAVON Hargrave. He wants a 2-year deal. We probably could up the years on that, actually, C4. But he'll take that on a 2-year contract. And really, outside of that, no one else worth re-signing. We did good. Got our 3 main targets. No worries about losing them to anyone else in the offseason. Okay, 1-6. Let's do better, though. Because, we don't have a first-round pick. I mean, it'll help us out in the second round. We'll have a high second-round pick. But I don't like helping other teams, especially when it's Miami. So we actually have some breakout scenarios here in Week 10. We got Bud Dupree. I don't know what's going on there, but you'll just see what happens. So first up, we had James Washington. We hopped in this game. We played it, and he went from star to superstar, which is awesome because now we have that in Juju. And we have James Conner, who was sitting on a superstar dev. You know why I love playing football? Because we made him an X Factor. Now he has like that unbelievable cannonball thing. I've never actually had that for the power back, where it's like, we'll read it here in just 1 second. It's like you get enough things. You get 3 trucks or stiff arms. Yeah, when they enter the zone, this ability increases the success rate on the next 3 trucks or stiff arms. He hasn't even got to a 90 overall to get the other 2 abilities. But I've always been partial to a power back, even though obviously C4 Special is not, historically speaking, power backs. But we got a big-time playmaker now. Le'Veon Bell, who we now have our own superstar X-Factor running back. So at the end of year 1, we finished 5-11. A little bit better than 1-6. We won a bunch of games down the stretch, but still bottom dwellers in the AFC North. That's a nice pick. Probably going to be a top 6, top 7 pick. And how do you do that with an 86 overall team? It's just another one of those Madden mysteries that doesn't quite make sense, doesn't quite line up. We should have been better. We definitely shouldn't have been worse than like the Bengals. Bengals were in 8. Let's look at the stats here. Ben Roethlisberger, not good. 3,700 yards, 21 touchdowns to 10 picks. Mason Rudolph, not much better either. So I feel like this could very well be the end of the Ben Roethlisberger era. 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns for James Conner. That's a real good year. Juju, 73 for 1,105. So anytime you get over 1,000 yards in the Madden Sim, that's good. 940 and 4 for James Washington. Almost 700 yards for Vance. 8 touchdowns for Deontay Johnson. James Conner did the damn thing from a receiving standpoint. Defensively, Devin Bush on the team with 106 tackles. He's a tackle machine, and he actually didn't play like the first 3 weeks. He was a bench guy. So if you would imagine, if he played 3 more games, he would have probably had 120, 130 tackles, maybe even led the league. But we already know he has a superstar. Does he actually have it? Usually when you get a superstar depth trade, it tells you. He only has a star. That's ridiculous. Stephon Tuitt led the team. 9 sacks, 8.5 for TJ Watt, 6.5 for Cam Hayward, 5 sacks for Shazier. Okay. Blitzing him a little bit. And picks were fine. 3 for Edmunds, 3 for Minkah. Minkah, obviously, it's annoying that he didn't replicate the same form that he had this year. But he's still damn good, man. Our defense, we got the turnovers. We were 18th in offense. So that's, that makes sense. But 32nd in defense? Maybe the box score is kind of lying there. That makes no sense. How do you have all those turnovers, all those sacks, and still be that bad? Let's look at the yearly awards here. Oh, man, it's so dumb. Come on, see. Look, clearly, it was drunk at 3 in the morning with how I'm navigating these menus. We had no one for the MVP race. Offensive Player of the Year, no one. Defensive Player of the Year, no. Oh, Myles Garrett. Okay, that's a little faux pas in today's video. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dante Johnson, number 2. Benny Snell at 7. Devin Bush is your Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he missed a lot of time. Best running back went to James Conner, but he always an X factor, so I don't really need to worry about that. Okay, I mean, it's a crapshoot here. It's an absolute crapshoot. We're going to have right money to work with in free agency. No first-round pick. It's going to be tough. So in free agency, Jack Conklin is the only target I really kind of want to look at. We're not going to overpay because, it's offensive linemen. We don't really need them to be, at the end of the day. But what did happen is at left guard, Ramon Foster retired. And at quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger retired. Kind of surprising. Did not take Ben Roethlisberger for a guy that's one and done. So unless we can find a quarterback in this draft, one that has to slip to the second round, Mason Rudolph may very well be our starter. And I don't really hate that. That could be okay for the clicks. So here's how our draft played out. We lost out on Conklin in free agency. In the second round, we got the Canadian Alaric Jackson, tackle from Iowa, 70 overall. He has a hidden dev trait. So it's going to be at least, it's my draft. I think it's probably a star. We got Jacob Breeland, the tight end from Oregon, the 68 overall, to try to come in and compete for the starting gig. And here we go. Pull the trigger. Got the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, a little bit biased towards Jalen Hurts when it comes to my evaluation. I thought, maybe he has to convert to running back. But you know what? The more I think about it, in today's NFL, the Kyler Murrays of the world, maybe, just maybe there's going to be a team. I mean, you look at a lot of mock draft sites, they have him going like second round, all this stuff. Maybe I'm crazy. But, for a guy, usually when I make my draft classes, guys are in the Heisman conversation. They get dev traits. He is a hidden dev, so he's a 70 hidden dev. And honestly, at the end of the day, if Dak Prescott can play quarterback, Jalen Hurts right now is like a shittier Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott's being talked about being the highest paid quarterback in the league. So I think there's going to be a spot for Jalen Hurts. And there'll be a nice little QB battle between him and Mason Rudolph to see who's going to be our starter, who's going to be the face of this franchise going forward. But ultimately, a solid draft for a draft that we didn't have a first or third round pick. And between Hurts and Jackson, maybe 2 potential rookie starters as we get ready for year 2. Okay, move. So Jalen Hurts is actually going to be our starter. He won the battle. He's up to a 71 overall. He does have the dev trait advantage over Mason Rudolph. So let's see what he can do, man. We know what happens in a Madden sim when you go with a rookie quarterback. You seem to get some leverage. You seem to get some advantage. That's hopefully that cheese sprinkles in here to the Steelers, who with Big Ben Roethlisberger, we did not play well. We had a good quarterback, dev traits, all that stuff. Didn't work out. Can the rookie carry this team to glory, along with a bunch of really talented skill position players that are ready to make a playoff run between Connor, Juju, Washington, Johnson? Good offensive line. Aging offensive line. Have to win now. Small window to win with this offensive line. So we're in year 1. We sim to week 7. He's your offensive player of the week. He's been playing ridiculous. We're 4-2. We've single-handedly turned this season around, and he's come out as a superstar dev trait. I don't know about that one, C4, as we try to make him a little bit more of a scheme fit. Superstar dev trait for Jalen. I mean, if he wins the Heisman, he's right in the. It's either going to be him or Joe Burrow that wins the Heisman Trophy. Joe Burrow has the team success at LSU. You could argue statistically Jalen Hurts might be a little bit more impressive with the rushing numbers, but a superstar dev is huge for this rebuild if we truly believe Jalen Hurts can be our franchise guy. Alaric Jackson came out with a star dev. I don't think there's been any other dev trait growth on this team, but we look like we might make the playoffs here in year 2. Contracts. we got these skill position players we need to get locked up for sure. Juju, let's knock it out to 5 years. Get him locked in. James Conner, absolutely want to retain him, especially now that we got him up to a superstar X Factor. We'll come back to the table with him. TJ Watt wants $100 million. Everyone in that Watt family get paid, unless your name's Derek Watt. But JJ and TJ, they get money. We got some veterans, Villanueva and Hayward here. Both want 2-year deals. I think Villanueva might hold on to his rating better, and we have no one in the pipeline whatsoever on the offensive line. But we'll offer them both these initial offers. Hayward didn't want it. Villanueva, come on. There we go. All right, we'll hold on to him at tackle for the next couple years. Hayward, we'll wait and see. I mean, it could be a little bit changing the guard there on that defensive line. And we definitely will make sure we can get a contract extended for Mr. Conner, which we did. Spoiler. And we made the playoffs. 12-4 AFC North title. What is going on? How? It's because regardless of if he's a fourth, whatever his rating is, he's a 74th round pick quarterback, he still gets that rookie QB juice, that rookie QB spike. 3,400 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 picks. Jalen Hurts has turned this franchise around, turned this rebuild around. He needs to continue this. He absolutely needs. 74% completion percentage is pretty good. And again, we have a great supporting cast around him. 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns for James Conner. Definitely want to see Jalen Hurts run a little bit more. Only 170 yards, only 1 touchdown. But another 1,000-yard season for Juju. Johnson was fine. A little bit of a down year for James Washington. Vance McDonald at tight end. That's acceptable. Devin Bush leading the team with 117 tackles, 2 TFLs, 12 sacks, 12 TFLs for a $100 million man, TJ Watt. 13 TFLs, 9 sacks for Shazier. Man, Ryan Shazier has been pretty damn effective coming on the blitz. They kind of have, Devin Bush holding the fort and letting Ryan Shazier be a lot more versatile. 4 picks. Nelson, 3. Good turnovers. Turnovers are good, man. This might be a good defensive playbook. If things aren't working in a rebuild room, I'm going to remember some of these turnovers and all these numbers for the Steelers. Things seem to be working on both sides of the ball from a playbook scheme standpoint. So always be listening. Always be paying attention. We were 26 in offensive yards, 2nd in defensive yards. So maybe not the offense. Maybe just rock with the defense. Awards, MVP, we had no one. AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Deshaun Watson. No one. Defensive Player of the Year, Shazier at number 3. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jalen Hurts. Would be nice if we got a dev trait. Don't know if that's always going to happen, but if we can get him going in year 2 with a superstar X Factor, we're laughing. Breland coming in at number 9. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we had no one. Individual awards. DeCastro, hey, best offensive lineman. Cool, even though there's no way for an O-lineman to go up in dev trait, and he's already a superstar, the highest you can get. So year 1, we got the 11-5 Houston Texans in the wild card round. Let's see what we can do. Maybe just from the Bengal rebuild, it's better just to sim it. And we lose 38-14. But I think rather than going in the play of the moments, I think there's like 2 different sims. And when you straight sim like this, it seems to be less cheesy. Jalen Hurts, not great, though, in his debut playoff game. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Vance McDonald had a huge game. Defensively, 9 tackles, a sack and a half for Devin Bush, sack for TJ Watt. But ultimately, it just wasn't good enough on offense or defense. And full kudos there. Duke Johnson, I guess, had a pretty big... They ran the ball well. I don't know. But the team's going forward. We got a positive move. So let's get in the offseason where our 2 free agency targets, we're looking at Chidobe Awuzie, formerly the Dallas Cowboys, would come in to be our number 1 corner. And then, Pittsburgh's one of those teams get veteran linebackers and they play well. You saw it with James Harrison. So I feel like we might be able to get that from Ryan Kerrigan. Flipping to right outside linebacker, play along TJ Watt. Just a 1-year deal, kind of a Band-Aid until we can draft his replacement. Or, give another year and wait till next year's free agency, maybe get someone younger. And there's no other bids on these guys, so I feel fairly confident we can land them as we get into the draft, where we finally have a first-round selection to try and improve this team. It's our final draft here. So we're trying to cheese it in the first round. Again, maybe I'm just still reeling from the Bengal rebuild where we do trades. So I flipped Mason Rudolph and Vance McDonald to the Jacksonville Jaguars for pick 24 in the first round. They needed a QB. Maybe they view Mason Rudolph as a future starter. They absolutely needed a tight end. And we're using this pick actually to draft a tight end. There's still a tight end that was very high on our draft board, which you will see our draft recap here. In the first round, we got TARON VINCENT, D tackle from Ohio State. We're actually going to slide him to defensive end. He has a hidden dev, so he literally is like a like-for-like replacement, literally, for Cam Hayward. Going to be taking over for Ohio State man for an Ohio State man. Really nice looking pick here. Should fit in very well as a 3-4 defensive end. And then that pick was used to select Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida, 75 with a hidden dev trait. Pretty much a glorified wide receiver. Exactly what we need in this offense to upgrade from Vance McDonald. Only 5 points worse. Has a better dev trait. Way more upside. Absolute home run pick. My apologies for fleecing the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they wanted to make that move. They wanted Mason Rudolph. I don't know what it was. Outside of that, though, we got Israel Makwamu, 68 overall hidden dev trade. But as you can see there, the college is NA. This is that glitch that I'm talking about. This is why I don't have any more draft classes. This is why I don't even want to release these draft classes, because there still is these bugs. I don't know why it is. I don't know how to fix it. I know what causes it. Anytime I go into my original draft class and modify a prospect, like bump them up in rating or change their position, they automatically go to NA. I don't know why it's doing it. Very frustrating, but it is what it is. We're trying to work with it. Third round, we got Abraham Lucas, 68 hidden dev tackle. Just more so a versatile guy. We got Snowden, Booker here. We doubled up on the Gators special teamers. Tommy Townsend, 66 overall hidden dev trait punter. Let's go. And then McPherson here is just a 67. No dev trait. We're not going to cheese him. I don't make every Florida Gator. I don't even make most Florida Gators good in my draft class, but he's a very accurate kicker. And just reloading there on special teams, trying to get a little bit cheaper, try to cut some corners, save a couple bucks, but ultimately 2 young starters for our team in the draft. So as we get ready for year 3, here's how things shape up. Jalen Hurts, 81 superstar. We got the 2 X factors right there, Juju and James Conner. Washington is an 83 superstar, which is beautiful. Johnson, 79 stars. So that is pretty much set for the whole rebuild. These guys here, we're good. Offensive line, it's a mix of old and young. Definitely want Alaric Jackson to keep developing. We're going to take Lucas, who was a tackle, flip him to left guard, just to try to maximize that dev trait. Kyle Pitts, the rookie, will be starting at tight end. Maybe we can get more depth. But again, next draft class is all random generated rookies and stuff like that, so we should be able to do that. Edmunds has gone from normal to a star dev. That's pretty much the only change here. We brought in Kerrigan. Minka's very close to a 90 overall. Vincent will be starting at DN, taking over for Cam Hayward. Tuitt's almost a 90. We got a Wujie locking down corner 1. I feel, man, this team's good, man. We should definitely make a run. But we had 12 wins last year, something stupid. So halfway through year 3, we're 6-1. This is a huge week 9 coming out the bye against a 6-1 Cleveland Browns. I assume there'll be a team that we'll see in the playoffs. Head and shoulders, the 2 top dogs in the AFC North. So it's contract time at the midway point. What are we doing, man? And again, I'm just loving the fact that this is true, that these rookie quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, just single-handedly change how your franchise plays in this time. So we have DeCastro, 1-year deal. We're going to make sure we get him locked up. Minka on a 5-year. You don't give him a first-round pick just to let him walk after his rookie deal's up. So we got him. Pouncey wants a 1-year deal. He shouldn't regress too bad. So let's make sure we get him. James Washington, we grew him up to a superstar. We don't want to let him walk. 3, we probably knocked it up to 4. JAVON Hargrave wants a 1-year. He's 28. He's not really developing. I'm not going to hate it if we don't bring him back. He's not a top priority. Terrell Edmunds, though, in hand. That is a very affordable deal. Should only probably cost a couple more bucks to get him locked up. So, yeah, we'll come back for all these guys that we swung and missed on and try to retain the core of this team. I have no doubts that we won't be able to get everyone back because negotiations are like that, and we have a fair amount of salary cap. So at the end of year number 3, oh boy, we finished 15-1. 15. We're at 87 overall. That's one of the best records. That's probably maybe we got 16-0. I think with New England. I think we got 15-1, maybe 1 or 2 other times. This is one of the best years, a top 5 year, and we only have an 87 overall team. I've had teams that are 95 overall and struggle to go above 500. Jalen Hurts was insane. 3,500 yards, 39 touchdowns, 7 picks. We might have a legitimate, and 7 rushing touchdowns, a legitimate MVP candidate on our hands. Who would have thought selecting this guy in the 4th round he played that? James Conner, ridiculous year, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. Look at those rushing touchdowns. That's like almost 30 rushing touchdowns. Juju had 10 tutties. We got 820 and 9 from Johnson. That's a great year. Kyle Pitts is the rookie, 650 and 5. That's great. 605 James Washington. James Conner, 304. I mean, we're feeling good. It's not very hard to see when you look at this offense why we were at 15-1. Defensively, 8 sacks. Shazier. Why is Shazier getting so many sacks? What is he playing on our line? TARON Vince, that's a great year for a rookie. 10 TFL, 6 sacks for a 3-4 end. 4 picks, Mike Hilton. 3 for Minka. 2 for Devin Bush. Turnovers look fine. What I found out, great playbook. This has been a great, and we got Rob for MVP. We got Rob for MVP. We got Coach of the Year, obviously. Offensive Player of the Year in Jalen Hurts. Maybe, I mean, that should be enough to get him X Factor. James Conner coming in number 8. Defensive Player of the Year, yet again, is Myles Garrett just staring us in the face. Both our linebackers made that short list. Kyle Pitts, runner-up for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Teron Vincent. And there we go. Our rookies are showing up there. Okay, Jalen Hurts gets best QB, runner-up for MVP. That has to be a dev trade. David DeCastro, Pound, like our offensive lineman, usually this is like based upon your record for whatever reason. So that's pretty dope. Shazier, number 3 for the linebackers. We had the best kicker. All right, there's no way Jalen Hurts does not get Superstar X Factor. We have to get to the Super Bowl to find that out. I would love to go on that run. So in the first round, we get to find right away who the best team is in the AFC North. The 15-1 Steelers, 11-5 Cleveland Browns. The Myles Garrett game. I mean, from now on, obviously Mason Rudolph probably is not going to be the long-term answer there in Pittsburgh. But from now on, as long as Myles Garrett's a player on the Cleveland Browns, which I expect a long time, like that rivalry has definitely taken itself to the next level. We'll spend this XP here real quick just before we get in the game to try to help us because Cleveland wins a lot of games in this sim. We're not going to play the moments. We're just going to do it straight up. And we knock them off 28-23. And just like that, we're in the AFC Championship game against the 12-4. How are the Bills 12-4? That makes no sense whatsoever. We're going to upgrade our players, give us the best chance, even though none of those guys are starters. How are the Buffalo Bills 12-4, man? That makes absolutely no sense. Let's take a look at actually how we got to this point, the 28-23 victory. I like to see Jalen Hurts have a strong game because his last playoff game was not great. Ooh, that's not that good either. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 4 turnovers in 2 playoff games. Got to play better than that. James Washington had 2 tutties. Defensively, I mean, Devin Bush is always making 10 tackles. Nothing real great defensively. We just got the job done. At the end of the day, we got the job done, and we are a win away from going to the Super Bowl. It's only the Buffalo Bills standing in our play, so we know Buffalo Bills, they're going to lose. And we knock them off 14-6. Let's go. And the Bucs are in the Super Bowl. That gives us hope in our franchise. The Bucs can make the Super Bowl with 7 points for Jalen Hurts. Where is our X? He didn't get an X Factor? Huh? 7 skill point upgrade, no X Factor? NFL passer rating leader, QB of the year, offensive player of the year. He got MVP somehow, even though he didn't fit. And there's no dev trait. I'm sick. I'm literally sick, and this game is making me sick. And I don't have water right now. My voice feels like it's going to crack at any second, and I can't really stop because I'm going to have to re-record it again. And I can't do that because I'm already very ticked off. So we got this Super Bowl here. You know what? We got to play it. There's no way we can not play the Super Bowl on this 15-1 season. So here we go. It's already 14-3. It's very one-sided. And actually, a little bit behind the scenes. This drive that you just saw was when I started recording. I forgot. Like, it was just don't ever record it. It's 3 in the morning. It's a route here. Juju Smith-Schuster beating Clinton Dix deep. It's an easy pass. And this stupid, like, I've never seen him do this celebration in my life. And it's glitched in Madden. It looks dumb. And in the 4th quarter, C4 special, James Conner. I was hoping to God there'd be a DB on the outside so we could run him over so I could check out that X Factor ability. But this is just an absolute one-sided. You know, we dropped 35 on him. We close this deal, and there you go. The 6. Is that 6 or 7? Is that the 6th Super Bowl that the Steelers have? I can't remember the exact number. I probably should while we're here because I have no idea what to talk about, and I want to give my voice a little bit of break. How many Super Bowls? Steelers Super Bowls. I think they have 5 right now, right? And then this would be Super Bowl number 6. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4. They already have 6. Okay. So that's Super Bowl number 7. And we still got 2 more years to get 8 and 9. 7. I mean, what a franchise. I like the people always think when I do my power rankings and stuff, I do not like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the Steelers. I enjoy watching them play. I enjoy their culture. I know Big Ben's a little polarizing. I like Big Ben. I have a Ben Roethlisberger jersey. I love James Conner. Probably him and McCaffrey, my 2 favorite running backs in the league. Even though James Conner's kind of been made out of glass. I've always had him in my fantasy leagues. But I don't mind Juju. I do think he's kind of goofy. Like in that Cam Newton, like he appeals to kids, like pre-teens kind of way. That's annoying. But, and I love TJ. Well, there we go. And there's your Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. So again, maybe that's another swing at potentially going up in an X Factor. I don't know. I don't know officially if Super Bowl MVP has any impact on that. I don't think it does, but it might. At least it's wishful thinking to think that it does. We got James Conner, Shazier, able to walk again. What hell of a story to make a comeback to the NFL and regains one of the best linebackers in the league. I think that's Juju up there too, as well as James Conner and Mike Tomlin, as we are hosting that 7th Lombardi Trophy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very well deserved, very well earned, dominated performance over the Tampa Bay Bucs. Bucs, how the hell did they end up in this Super Bowl? So let's go. Draft recap here for year 4. We didn't sign anyone in free agency. We had no money. So here's our draft. This is our first random draft too. First round pick. You know, we just needed anyone. We're pretty much going with a best player available scenario. So we got JADIN POOLE, 69 hidden dev player from Notre Dame. He's a nose tackle. You know, not really the replacement we wanted for JAVON HARGRAVE, but there is some upside. Second round, this guy was just a crazy looking prospect. 70 normal, but look at the stats. 84 strength for like a 300-pound man, getting 84 acceleration, 78 speed. He's a tweener. He's a guy that plays inside outside. I think he can play all 3 levels on the front 3. Just kind of versatile. Not a great pick, but here's the home run. RAFAEL GALLOWAY, 74 overall in the 3rd round, hidden dev trait. This guy's 94 strength. Every stat's well-rounded. Not going to say he's superstar. Feeling like he's a superstar. Watch the draft. We're just building up that offensive line. When you got an old veteran offensive line, we still got Villanueva. We got Pouncey, DeCastro. Even though this says tackles, this is just building up linemen for when those guys finally peak, or if they don't want to resign, or they just surprisingly retire like Ramon Foster just did. None of them have dev traits. They're just 69. The overalls are fine. More so just some cover. But Galloway, I think Galloway truly has a chance to be special. This is a solid draft, man. Solid draft for, you know, a randomly generated, Madden generated draft class. And I definitely think we do have something with Galloway, especially I think Villanueva's at the end of the road. So looking for some trades here. We need an outside linebacker. We haven't really had one since Bud Dupree. So we, again, just trying to make it happen. Vinovich for the Steelers was on the trade block. So we sent Ulysses Gilbert Snowden, the rookie, not rookie, he's entering his sophomore season out of Virginia, 6'7" outside linebacker. I'm hoping that when we flip Vinovich from DN to outside linebacker, he's at least better than 67, because Snowden was going to be our starter. But Vinovich has a star dev. You know, it's kind of a lateral move, slightly more upside. Just trying to do what we can do to get a little bit better here for year 4. There's all the overalls where we're at. Galloway, we're actually going to make Galloway starter with Villanueva so we can just start chewing at that dev trait, trying to get him to develop for this year and year 5, that year 5 push. Pitts, 85 superstar, one of the best young tight ends in football. Let's go. Let's go for sure. Juju's a 95, James Conner 93, Hurts is up to a 93 defensively. You know, it is what it is. Vinovich is a 70, so it's a 3-point upgrade over Snowden. Minka's in the 90s. Awuje's a superstar. He went from star to superstar dev. We got Poole here replacing Hargrave, 69 hidden dev. You know, our teams, I can't say that my team's better than what it was last year, 15-1 win the Super Bowl. We're not really worse. You know, I don't always feel confident we're not significant, like notably better, but at least we can maintain. Let's just make the playoffs. We're gonna have fairly low expectations to just get us in the door, get us a ticket to the raffle to try and defend this thing. So week 8, we're 3-3. Oh, looking like a down year for sure. The Bengals are 5-1. That's how you know this is just ridiculous. It's dumb. Oh, superstar. Felt it in my plums. What a pick, man. What a pick. Superstar lineman. That's what you need, because they don't go in depth. And TARON Vincent's the other superstar player. Yeah, baby. Cam Hayward, who? I guess I don't want to say that. I don't want to be disrespectful. Cam Hayward's probably going to go down as one of the better Steelers of all time. But we have a very suitable replacement. Contracts here, the last wave of contracts. Stephon Tuitt, 2-year deal. I don't think he'll regress too bad. Devin Bush, absolutely need to lock him up. 5 years, 50 mil. Pouncey, yeah. Can we get him on a 1 year? He might retire. 33 is when alignments start to just surprise retire on you. So we'll try to get him back. We'll get Johnson back. Other than that, not a whole lot. So we'll make sure we can get Marquise Pouncey, just so it's one less hole to fill on this offensive line. And, you know, even if you regress, it's still going to be high 70s for that 5th and final push to win another Super Bowl. And at the end of the year, end of year 4, we didn't even make the playoffs. 8-8. We're 90 overall. How do you go 8-8? We go 15-1 with an 87 overall team. 8-8 with a 90 overall team. Jalen Hurts had another good year, though. 3,600 yards, 39 touchdowns. 15 picks, though. The picks are up. Turnovers are up just a little bit. 1,200, almost 1,300 yards. Connor, touchdowns are down. 11 tutties for Johnson. A little bit of a down year from Jude. I mean, everyone kind of sucked. Let's be honest. No one really had a standout season. Except Hurts. Even then, he had a bunch of turnovers. 10.5 sacks for TJ. 3 picks, Mike Hilton. Yeah, just a weird down year. That 4th. Wait, what? Who's the Bengals quarterback? Okay. It's just so weird. That's the year. That whole scenario there just embodies what this year 4 of the rebuild was. Just stupid. We didn't have anyone winning any awards. Hurts is 3. Like, literally, Hurts was the only guy on our team that did anything. Maybe Mike Hilton for DB. Nah. All right, let's just forget about this year. Let's get into year 5. Try to win another Super Bowl. So, you don't want to go to the grave with money in your pocket. Let's just spend and try to improve our team. So, Snacks Harrison at D's tackle. 1-year rental just to try to help our run defense. Josh Jacobs to give us a 2-headed power back. Good luck trying to stop this. Darius Smith flipping to right outside linebacker. And then, hey, bring in a fullback. Why not? It's Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football. If we're going all-out power back, why not bring in a fullback? And for our final draft, just trying to go best player. I'm not going to lie. I pretty much simmed it out after the 3rd round. 2 picks here. RASHAD MINCEY, 70 overall. Right tackle. We needed a center. Pouncey retired, which is kind of annoying. But 60, I don't know. It's a center, the least important spot. But look at this player. We're going to flip him from end to linebacker. His rating will take a hit, but he looks unreal. 6'5", 266 from Bama. That is the whitest Marquise I've ever seen. Well, we're going to make him a right outside linebacker. Even though we did get Zadarius Smith, I feel like this guy looks like such a good prospect. We might actually start him. Just see what this dev trade is. But he looks a great athlete, great size, perfect fit. Like, if this was year 1, I would love seeing that guy grow and develop throughout this rebuild. I think he can come into something special. So our final team. This is it. Year 5, all or nothing. Offensive line outside of center, solid. Castro's been good. We got superstar there in Galloway. A little bit weak at center. Whatever, man. You're not always going to have the best O-line. Pitts is 87. We got Washington 86. Hurts is a 94. Connor 93. Juju's 96. I would love to see Juju get up to a 99. I don't know what the case is. But adding Josh Jacobs to his backfield, that's just have fun tackling this backfield. It's going to be a chore playing linebacker against the Steelers. Hurts 94. I don't know what we have to do to get him an X factor. I feel like he's going to get rod. He's never going to actually hit that plateau. But he's been unreal. For a 4th round pick, no real expectations. Didn't know if it was going to be him or Rudolph. For him to develop like this, couldn't ask for anything better. Defensively, yeah, so we got Smith here. I think we're going to go with the rookie. See what the young kid can do. See what that young kid can do. You look 84 power. Like, this guy's unreal. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Bush 89. TJ Watt, $100 million man's up to a 93. Minka's in the 90s. Corner Wujik pretty close to a 90. He might develop this year and get up into the 90s. Vincent's there. We got Snacks Harrison on a 1-year rental. Tuitt's been really, really solid. Kind of surprised he hasn't got even a scenario one time to go up in dev trade. It's a good team, man. It's a good team. I definitely, last year was really random, but I do think we can make the playoffs. And here we go at the end of the year, 10-6. Oh no, 10-6. We didn't get an AFC North title. 90 overall, but we got. You don't want to see that. I mean, hopefully, because we're not going to play the moments, it's a different type of sim. But that's an 8-8 Charger team, boys. Hurts is a 98. Connor 95. Juju very close to 99. 91 for Minka. Bush is in the 90s. 95 for Watt. The rookie didn't really develop Addison, so we will go Zadarius Smith at right outside linebacker just for the playoff push. But that is, oh my God, how come? How come you put the Chargers there? Jalen Hurts final season, 3,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, 4 picks, A+ year, unreal. He's been, I can't believe, I'm shocked that he played this well. Even though I know what rookie QBs do, I'm shocked. James Conner and Josh Jacobs, pretty dynamic 2-headed back attack. No 1,000-yard receiver. It is what it is, but still not a bad year. 11 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns for Washington. Another year. Devin Bush continues to be insane. Oh, a little late, TJ, to have a breakout year, bud. Year 5, waiting to do something. 17.5 sacks. MVP went to Russ. Jalen Hurts at 6. Oh, there we go. Oh, of course. TJ Watt's probably going to have his best chance to get an X factor here in our final year. So hopefully we make the Super Bowl, and then we actually get one game of him being an X factor, but 8-8 Chargers, that is fingers crossed. Should have known. I mean, I'm not going to say should have known. We knew. We all knew what was going on. You can tell by the length of the video. You should have known as soon as that even happened. You don't even know that there's only 2-3 minutes left in the video. You see an 8-8 Charger team in the playoffs, good night. Not only an 8-8 Charger team, an 8-8 Charger team with Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback. I mean, we did nothing in the game. No sacks, 1 pick for Devin, but it's just not good enough, man. But hey, you know, that's what happens when you run into the Chargers. Not only the Chargers, an 8-8 Chargers that put up 500 yards of offense against your 88 overall defense. Oh, don't even talk about it. The more I talk about it, the more it makes me angry. So let's just get a final look at our team and wrap this one up. Jalen Hurts. I feel like we made a Super Bowl run 99, and that would have been awesome just to get him up to a 9. Even though that's the +2 for morale. I think it's going to go down as a rebuild great in Madden 20, though. That year, Jalen Hurts went off. Like, you know, he could be a guy once we get to the last couple rebuilds. If we need a QB, we know Jalen Hurts worked out with the Steelers. We could go back to that well again. It's a real good team. But that does it for the rebuild here, guys. What do you got? Devin Bush, stud every year. Over 100 tackles. Tackle machine, as expected. Didn't get an X factor, though, which is weird. Sometimes linebackers do get those scenarios. Minka never really lived up to the reputation that he had this year in real life with the Steelers. Maybe it would have been better just to start real life, start like week 10 with the Steelers, so Minka already had his stats. I don't know, man. I can't second guess that this time. I think, all in all, very successful rebuild. Won the Super Bowl. Handled the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation as good as you possibly could. We got Jalen Hurts. I think it was a fun rebuild. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see next week on the rebuilds. Like button. Subscribe button. My voice literally is about to go. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you back here next week. Peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game like who are you stopping?